This week's bonus podcast episode is a replay of the REVB Marketing Mastermind, and we're talking three things: profile optimization, content strategy, and conversion. Tune in and let me know what you think. Record.
What? Wait, what?
We are at the top of the hour, y'all. Happy Monday, and welcome back to another real estate video blueprint marketing mastermind. Hope you all had an amazing weekend. Um, for many of you, like me, it is Columbus Day, so you don't have childcare. Um, so we'll see how the call goes. Today, what we want to talk about was social media. Is anyone down for that? You guys want to talk about social media? That's what Tim and I
It
planned.
is
So
it is the real estate
that's
video
what you're
blueprint,
gonna get.
you know?
Um,
Oh, wait.
what
I'm, your world. I'm just living in it. It's fine.
it is, it is. All right. Well, so I thought that we could start out. Thomas, the recording will be available for the call. Thank you for asking.
Thomas bringing up
Um,
the great questions. We
yeah.
appreciate you.
See, you know what? It's almost as if Thomas was like a plant in the audience, but
Yeah.
he's not. I just dropped the link to Facebook group. We put them in the Facebook group, and then you can find them on YouTube as well as the Real Estate Video Blueprint podcast, found wherever you listen to podcasts. Podcasts. I was gonna
And
say podcast
today,
songs, but
today we've got Mr. Trey behind me because he usually sits out on our front porch, but since it's raining today, we brought him inside. So that's him there.
can you zoom him
All
in?
right.
Can we zoom in on him?
I don't know. No, I got the weird spotlight camera thing, so it's mind of its own,
Okay. Well,
you know. Um, but look, it's been a fun couple weeks, Katie, and I think we've both had some interesting conversations with people and what they're working through, and so we wanted to hit on a couple things today that we know people have been asking us about. And the other piece is if you have things that you have going on in your business right now that you'd like to ask us about, we'd love to jump in and dive into those. But Melody wants to know if there'll be a Black Friday special for the Nashville event in April. And Melody, unfortunately, there won't be. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys have looked at event tickets lately, but they are ridiculously expensive. And the reason is events are ridiculously expensive. And like Katie and I just charge as little as we can from day one. So we don't really have room to discount this stuff or else we'd be losing money every year. Um, yeah. But anyways, we're moving on, right, Katie? What do we want to touch on? Thanks, Melody. We appreciate you.
so today I wanted to start off talking a little bit about Instagram and profile optimization because it's something I think we talk about pretty frequently, but it's something that I think that we um, always can see or find improvement on. So I'm going to go
Yeah.
over just real quick. Are you going to share your screen? Okay. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Look,
what a
this is Katie
gorgeous.
Day's profile, people.
Love to see it. Love to see it. That's me. Okay. So I'm going to start out kind of basic and just go through this, right? First thing is your username. Your username can really be whatever you want it to be, right? Um, the biggest thing with it is you can remember that it is searchable. So like I see some usernames that are sometimes very long because it's like Tim Macy, Connecticut and San Antonio real estate agent for you. And like that's the username. And it's like you don't need that many things. I'm seeing, I feel like more and more people start to just use their name or use something that is searchable, or like whether that's their, city or town or something like that. Any
Well,
thoughts, Tim?
it's also your brand. Like it needs to be easy and recognizable, right? Like that's what people. I mean, come on, every people know Katie has moved me to Texas, right? Oh, you
But
moved me
that's
to TX.
but that's
Like
also
people,
but that's also something that like I mean, I'm not right now. I'm wearing a Nike shirt, but like that is
yeah.
something that like I have done over the past, 6 years, right?
But my point is like if you can just get your name, that's amazing. Like that's great.
Yeah,
But what if you complicate your uh Instagram handle, just know like that's what people know you by, right? It's what you want it to be simple enough where when it pops up, people like recognize Gus's handle and they're like, oh yeah, I gotta watch that because I love the stuff he puts out. But if it's something too complicated, like your Minnesota realtor Austin, Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think it's tough. So, on your handle, just remember, like, this is what people are gonna know you by on social. So, don't make it too complicated. I've been trying for years to get the person to give up the Tim Macy handle, but I can't get him. He's got like 4 posts on Instagram.
That's pretty
Moving on.
vegetable. Um, Gus, I'm not going to say that out loud. And John, I think it doesn't matter. Like, I think that if your name was available, then that's fine. I think that your last name is probably hard to spell, so that may not be, the best thing, right? Because
Yeah.
you want it to be easy to recognize one, and then easy for me to tell someone else to follow the thing. So, like, someone the other day, I don't know why, but they were like, I want to tag Tim in a story. What's his handle again?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just Tim Macy Realtor." They're like, "Oh, okay, great, right?" And it was super easy. But like, if I didn't know how to spell it, that would be difficult. All right. So the other thing that's
And
searchable, the
well,
first thing. Go
on
ahead.
that point though, last point on John, because you do have a long last name. Think about Sam Reifman Packet, right? Sam Reifman Packet's got this amazing Instagram page, and he's Sam RP. Everybody knows him as Sam RP, and so making that easy handle, I think is definitely a piece of the puzzle.
It's funny too because like when that becomes your brand, like Sam, when I go to say
Yeah.
things, I'm like Sam, right? Like, um, and then Ray, like for his question, like I think that if you, I don't think someone should come on this call and then be like, oh, this is what Tim and Katie said. Now I'm going to change everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, Ray has been Razorback for as long as I've known him, right? And it's like a really good play on words because that's his name and also, a mascot, right? And so I think it fits really well, and it's something that he has gone all in on for a very long time, right? So like, not saying this in any way of going for you guys to go and change your shit, but it is something just to consider, especially if you're
Yeah.
like just getting into Instagram or you have 4 followers or you've never really posted before.
Yep. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, and Stacey, we can like dig into your stuff here in a second too. The second thing that I always want to tell people is your name here is searchable. So I have Katie Day, Houston Realtor, right? And so if I just had Katie Day or I had Katie Day move me to Texas, like movement to Texas is it duplicates what my username already is. So like I wouldn't put up here that I'm the Move into Texas team because like my username's already moved into Texas. So if someone is searching Move me to Texas, like my username will pull that. But for this, under Katie Day, Houston Realtor, if someone's searching for Houston Real Estate or Houston Realtor, like there's a chance that perhaps my name would come up in their search, right? So you've like basically kind of 3 opportunities in order to be able to be found, right? Does that make sense
And
to everyone?
yeah, this is my biggest pet peeve is when I go to
Oh, I
look
thought it
up
was that when you couldn't find chocolate chip cookies.
that is also a pet peeve, but not real estate related. But if you don't have your name in here, it's the most annoying thing because I'll go look, I'll try to tag Gus on something, but his Instagram handle is like Home Finder, right? Home Finder Pro. And I type in Gus's name and it doesn't come up. Like you need to have your name in here because that's where the only way for people to search for you on Instagram and you to actually come up. And so this is a super basic thing that I do think some people miss is actually having your name in there.
For sure. And so third up is the orange, right? So in here, you have the ability to have a few lines of your bio. And so these I like to either have bullet pointed out or emojied or something to where there is a clear delineation of what each thing is, right? I've seen some people where they literally take this like a an actual biography and it's like, I'm a real estate agent and run the Move Me to Texas team at Real. And I sometimes post content on Houston Unlocked to tell people what it's like to live in Houston, Texas. And I love it here. Thanks so much. Hope you will follow me. And it's like when you hear that many words, like, I don't know about you, like, even while I was trying to figure out what I was just going to say just then, like, my brain shut down, right? Like, no one wants that many words, right? Like, no one wants to read that much stuff. We know people's attention spans are very, very small. So having like bullet points of what you are and what you do is very important. And then next, the next most important thing is when you have a link in bio down here, having some sort of call to action, right? Having some sort of call to action that tells people why they should click on that link. And so for me, it says buying or selling work with the team. But if you are a buyer's agent on a team, if you are a insert thing here, whatever you are, if you're a coach, if you're a team lead, and all you're doing on this page is recruiting new agents to your team, like that would be whatever your this is the thing that I help people with should be in that line. Tim?
And yeah, no. So one, like Ray said, totally has a wordy bio. Less is more in that orange box. Like how short and concise can you be to tell people who you are and why they should follow you? And kind of like what, we had this conversation in the Facebook group too of do you have your channel linked on your personal page? And yes, like who you are, and then if you have stuff like this that are your other pieces of where maybe you want your audience to check out, those are important as well. So less is more up here. And then Katie, the only other piece I have on this is
Say that.
you need to have an easy way for if someone wants to give you their information, like they want to have Austin help them buy a house, like you need to have somewhere for them to click. My only piece on this though is what happens when you click. And so if we click on Katie's right
Do
now,
me no, 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 do me a favor. Go
yeah.
back to Instagram, close this out, click on Houston Unlocked.
Hmm. Do you
Now
like
click
this
on
one
this
better
click on this link in bio.
on this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Click. So
I
obviously this
clicked.
is optimized for mobile, but you
Yep.
can schedule a discovery call, sign up for a newsletter, search for homes. So this is like a link tree, but I just built it out on my Movement to Texas website, like on our Lofty
So
webpage.
I do like this better. This is probably why you had me go here, Katie. Do you don't love the other option that you have on your
No,
personal
it's
page?
it's fine, but like I this is yeah,
Yeah, and the
talk, do your
reason
thing.
why I do actually want to go back to Katie's other option is I think the reason why she asked me to go to the other one is she doesn't love this one. Um, and here's the
I love
deal.
all of my links equally, Tim.
Look, this one is good, but it's like it's the Move Me to Texas team, and it's a bunch of stuff. Right. And like it's not until down here that maybe I can give her my information, maybe I can do something. And as opposed to somebody clicks that, they can book a call, they can get the newsletter, they can search for homes. Like she's giving them the stuff here. And so it's great to have links here. Like I think it's important to have some sort of link here. But when somebody clicks on that link, it should immediately give them something, get them to sign up for something. Like you got somebody to click the link in the bio, have something there where they can give you their information and they can get something in return and sign up.
These days with like Linktree and Canva and links.co and Lincoln like Stan Store, there are so many ways for you to be able to do that. But what I would say is like you need to have very clear yeah, here we can click on Rick's, like very clear things as to what they are getting from it. Like I've seen some people's link trees where it's like this
It's
thing that's built
confusing.
out and has 4,000 links. It has every single listing they've ever sold. It has all of these different pictures. Like it just like there's way too many things that you're
I
like,
like,
okay, I don't know where to go for this.
you click on bills, you can schedule a call or buy them a coffee.
Pass and pass. Just kidding.
But I do, like, it's gotta be something simple. And okay, his link tree's got a lot more. This is kind of like what we were talking about. But I think we have to make it simple for people. If they actually click the link, make it simple for them to just get in touch with you or get some information from you. I know we like to try to reach everybody with the things that we have on our uh, our link our link tree or our link in bio. But I think simple is better. That was like Katie. Remember we were with who was it? Scott, like the lender, that mortgage guy, right? And he was generating some ridiculous amount of leads a week on his TikTok page,
Hundreds.
and we went to his thing. He's like, "So what's going on?" They're like, "I don't know. Everybody just fills out my lead form that's on my link, that's on my link in bio. And it was the simplest, easiest
Just like
thing. Like
just a type
it,
form, like what state do you want to buy a house? When do you want to move? What's your credit score? What's price?
it's just easy, just an
Yeah.
easy, simple thing. And so sometimes we make things complicated. We try to make them pretty. But my big suggestion to you guys is make it easy for when somebody clicks on that link to give you their information. Um, Katie, type of Instagram account, creator page, right?
Professional, like the professional pages, you get the analytics, and then you can obviously run ads if you want to. And then if you're a business versus if you're a business, you don't get as, I think, at least it used to be before, you didn't get as good of a music. And to not have the good music. Can you go back to Instagram real quick? I want to hit one last thing that as far as optimization on the page, Bill's page
Yeah,
would be fine if you saw it pulled up.
yeah, yeah.
So before we move on, I just want
Before we
to
move on.
tie a little bow on this. Nah. Oh yeah, this is fine. I like this one for a specific reason.
Yeah,
So what's his name? Rick had it as well, but I like this. So up here in the top, you see these little
pinned. Oh
pins. So
yeah,
you
the
can
pinned
pin up to
posts.
3 posts on your main page and also click on his reels in the middle. He probably doesn't know. You can also
No,
pin up to three
go back to
reels on
real.
your reels page. Rick probably does.
Let's see.
Yep, he does. So you see the little things.
Yep.
And so most of the time, and Rick did it here, these are ones that have 600,000 and a million views, which is like really cool. Like people are like, oh man, like people really like his content. That's awesome. I like pinning posts on your page that are like, hey, here's a little bit about me, or hey, here's how to work with me, or hey, here's what to expect, or here's how to get in touch, or whatever it could be. I don't have any reels pinned. Um,
Hmm.
or just something that's like super important for you in this current place and time, right? And so you can make a carousel, right? And pin it as your page, and it can have a lot of different information on there. So I
Yeah,
think this is
and
something that's really important to have at least one of a hey, here's how to work with me and who I am or what I do.
I think that's our natural thing is we think, oh, um, I should pin my best post, the one that got the most likes. That's the one I should pin at the top. In actuality, we want to pin a post that tells people who you are and what you do. So Bill's got a good one here, right? Talking about everything he does. It's probably not his most liked post, but he's keeping it at the top. I like this too. I might not be the realtor, be a realtor if yeah, it's good stuff. Um, so some sort of about me, but engaging. Don't make it corny. Some sort of good about me post where if somebody did go to your profile, they're gonna get to know who you are and why they should follow you in one of those pin posts. All right, cool, good.
Good, good.
All right, all right.
Any questions or thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, because I'm gonna start rambling from the chat. I am gonna dive into the chat though. We are going to the chat. All right. So Doug
We
said
go.
I have a link to my Instacard digital business card. Um, that Doug, that sounds like a good idea, and it sounds logical. Um, but that is essentially if somebody clicks on that link, you're giving them your information, right? Somebody clicks that link, they get your information. That's not what we want to do. We want them to click on the link and we want to get their information, right? Like, how many times do you hand somebody a business card and they actually call you back? Like, very little. Nowadays, you want to get their information. So instead of giving somebody a business card, I'll stop Doug and say, hey, Doug, what's the best number for me to text you at? I'm going to send you this thing that you were asking me for. Okay, boom. I'm going to get Doug's cell phone number. I'm going to text him, right? Because I want your information, Doug. I don't want you to have mine. And so that's where too, like digital business cards have a place, and I think they're good. But again, we have to get good at getting people's information, not giving them ours. Is it better to pin a intro video or a carousel? I love the carousels personally.
Carousel
Um,
better because like most videos don't get a ton of watch time, right? And so at least with the
yeah,
carousel, like they can read and leave it and like actually get some good information as opposed to like, but like here's the thing, if you get 3 posts, You could have one that's a bio video. You could have one where it's a carousel, and then as like mine is and Ray's is, like you could have video and a carousel too. So like it can be all of
And
the
here's
above.
the
But
thing, and I think this is like a safe space for us. This is a safe space for us to just be honest with each other.
yes,
Good,
then we can
Terry.
be
Terry, I
honest.
see the head nod. Look, David, I know for me, like if we make that video and we pin it to the top, we have to remember the goal of this pin post. The goal of this pin post is to say, oh, Mike's pretty interesting. I'm going to follow him, right? Because somebody clicked on your profile, then they clicked on this pinned post. And the goal of that pinned post is to seem interesting enough where somebody will follow you. And us as real estate agents, will make a video and I'll say, I'm Tim Macy, a real estate agent here in San Antonio, Texas, and I love helping clients. Nobody's following you. Everybody just threw up while they were watching your video, right?
Man,
And
that's
we,
graphic.
sorry, we can't help it, but that's what happens. As opposed to like Ray has this cool pin post that says start here. I'm like, okay, the guy's bald. He's got a beard. He looks like he won a bunch of independent movie awards or something. This is interesting. Okay. Oh, look at this. Who's Razorback? I don't know. I'm just like to share stuff. Oh, he's got this fun team. This is cool. Oh, he's a podcaster. He's got a sexy, smooth voice. That's nice. Right? Like this is interesting and it's giving me a reason to follow him. And Ray, I love you, but if you made a video about how interesting Ray is, it probably wouldn't have been as interesting, right?
I mean, for Ray, it would probably
Yeah,
be like
wait,
7 minutes long.
or 10. No, we actually
Or
did make a
10.
video that, and it's one of them that I watched back and I was like, this is terrible. And it never saw the light of day. So I actually spent a lot of time making those 3 pins for those 3 different audiences, I guess.
And so I love that carousel post. And David, hopefully without me being too, I don't know, what is the word? Fill in the blank. Hopefully you kind of get the idea, right? Like carousel posts give us this opportunity to express ourselves and be a little more interesting in a way that hopefully gets somebody to follow based on that pin post than I think a video does. But Katie, that also brings us back to the fact that we do get 3 reels that we can pin at the top of reels. And I would take that same mentality into consideration when you figure out what reel you're going to pin at the top. Most people are just going to pin their
Best
most
performing post. But I would
successful,
like to
their best.
see. I would like to see like a client testimonial or something, right? Because I feel like if your main goal is to get clients from Instagram, right? Like maybe some sort of client testimonial or this is what we did kind of thing.
I would disagree. Um, I go back to that same mentality of what reel do you have that gives people the best idea of what they can expect from your channel so that they'll follow you after they go. Because for me, the time that I'm going to the profile and seeing the pin posts are when I'm not sure if I'm going to follow this person or not. So one of Katie's reels popped up in my feed, and now I'm going to her profile to check out some other stuff. And I'm like, okay, what reel
Yo,
is
I'm
the
probably not even clicking
best?
on their reels though. Like, first of all,
Yeah.
it's probably I'm probably not even going to the profile, but like if I go to the profile, like the probability of going to look at your reels, like not you, but just like maybe it's you, like is low.
All right, it's fair. We can
I like
agree to
I'm
disagree,
looking at
Katie.
So
main feed is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right.
we
Oh,
did,
everyone's just gonna sit here and watch us argue with each other.
I,
Like that's annoying.
I say
Yeah.
we did 3 pin carousels. One of them was just in general about me and Insta and all that stuff. And that just kind of gave me freedom to share whatever I wanted to share. I don't have to care or like be real specific to properties. But the other 2, one of them is targeted to clients and future clients, and the other one's targeted to agents. And the one about clients, we've had some conversions directly from, and that's from people that have found us online or somewhere else and are basically looking for additional information about me or my team to figure out if they want to use this or not. And they have clicked on the one that said current and future clients and have gone through it. And that's the one that's kind of it's not really a sales pitch. It's just like, this is what we do.
Yeah.
And that one I've had some direct, like, hey, we found you. We like what you do. And when I ask them more details, what they're talking about that pin post. So that at least has provided a little bit of money so far since I've posted it. But yeah, those are the three.
And going back to this, it's
Oh,
another
look at those letters lighting up. That's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's another carousel, right? This isn't
Yeah.
a video, it's another carousel. And it's super creative. Like I love the way you're making it engaging in telling a story here. Um, but yeah, I do like the fact that your top three have you, which is a great you post for clients, and then you have a similar thing for agents in what you got. Yeah, super cool. Um,
Go back to Bill's profile if you still have it up.
where did Bill go? Where did Bill go?
Oh, he's second. Yeah.
I know. I know. There we go.
Click on the if you on the left. Scroll on his comments. Like most people aren't going to be like, if you were like comment client, if you want to become my
Ooh,
client,
I
they
like
don't care,
this.
right? Like, so if you use a testimonial or you did something that's similar to Ray's post or you do whatever, right? Like, no one's going to be like client. Like, I'm going to let everyone know, especially my cousin, who I'm not going to use her, like
Yeah,
that I'm looking for a realtor, right? But
I love that.
for this report on the weekly things that are happening in Charleston, South Carolina, they will, right? And so, like on
Yeah.
my Houston Unlocked page, or yeah, I think I have one pinned on my Houston Unlocked page, right? Like, I did the same thing as Bill in that,
So I would say you want to take your pinned reel at the top and use it as a way with some sort of mini chat type thing to get people to sign up for newsletter, something or other. I think that's a great
I like
use
that
of
idea.
the pinned reel. All right, Thomas, with the hypothetical question, or it can be a real question, Thomas. We like this question. This is a good one. If you want to attract new construction home buyers and shape your IG strategy around that, how would you do it? Is that even a good idea to be that niche oriented? So, it depends on your market. If you're in Tampa Bay, I would assume because you have so many new construction neighborhoods that I think you have enough inventory to do it. You can definitely hammer in on that. I know in some markets it's a little competitive because people are doing a good amount of it, but you can there's still definitely room I think to crack that code and get new construction buyers. I do think if you're going to go that it's not a bad idea to go that niche. The struggle that I see agents with is when they go that niche, agents have trouble sticking to being that niche because if that's your audience, like the only thing I want to see on your profile are new homes. Like that's it. The only content that lives on there are new homes. And for us, that's not always the most fun thing to do. Like I want to show you my dog. I want to like post about the county fair that's going on. But the best channels that seem to crush it on new construction tend to be laser focused on doing different things with that niche. Katie Day, thoughts?
what you said. I would look up Raj Sahu in Austin, Texas. He built his business on YouTube and now is a referral only, being that he doesn't
Yeah.
actually even go out with clients or help clients anymore. He sends them all out to teammates. Noah Escobar in 30A, I think. So Raj, all he did was long form YouTube, 20+ minute long videos of new construction homes, right? In his like, it would be like if you were like, I'm only doing these in South Tampa, right? Like he only did
Mm,
them in a very specific suburb of Austin. Noah Escobar did a little bit different. He does like talking head and tour style, but he's like, okay, hey, here's the overarching thing that's happening in this neighborhood or this subdivision or this master plan community or town. Then he goes and does like updates for the new construction and homes. So it's like a little bit um, more stuff, but it works really well and it works really well for him because he has the same audience in mind the entire time. And then Tyler Hassman is the OG of vertical video tours. And so he does a ton of new construction. Now that he has an audience, he does like everything. But like I think for most of us in a average market, doing new construction home tours is a quite the move. Good move. Like the move.
yeah. Yeah. And I do think, especially right now, new builders are doing a lot in most markets with incentives and everything. And so there's a good amount of content there that can hook people in. But this actually just kind of lines up with a conversation I was having with Amanda today about her because Amanda's done well on YouTube, and we were looking at her TikTok, and like she's doing the home tour thing, and we're trying to figure out why she's not getting traction on it, right? She's got pretty low views and whatnot. And so if we take a look,
This is 702 Carrywall Court in Wenatchee, Washington. This is going to be a really fun home to.
so she's doing the Roland and Matt and Summer Hudson style, walking through with the person tour. And it's not hitting. And Thomas, you may grab something from this as you're trying to build out the new home construction, but I want you to key in just on the beginning of the video.
This is 2012 Linville Drive in Wenatchee, Washington, listed by Melissa Kennedy with the Kennedy Group. And
so,
do you have Roland or Matt pulled up?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So the piece that Melissa and I landed on was that she should try to lead with something personal, right? Like the first words out of her mouth are the address, who it's listed by, stuff like, how many bedrooms and square feet something is. And it's just coming off like a real estate agent ad. And there's people try to do what Roland and Matt do and what Summer Hudson does. And it's like this little bit of nuance that makes all the difference. And so if we go to Roland's stuff, let's take something that doesn't crush it necessarily. Like, I don't know, this one.
This one is pretty eclectic, built in 1918. Some great original touches throughout, but also just some modernized touches. This is 690 Mandana Boulevard.
So if you hear how Roland talks, he has like an opinion on stuff, right? Even the way he just said that, the way he said it in his inflection and stuff, it's like it's his opinion on the properties. And so if you're doing these home tour type things, I think it's important that you lean into that personal in like having an opinion on something as opposed to just kind of being the real estate agent. Let's watch another one. Maybe.
He had one the other day where he's like, it's raining Eichlers right now, and there are so many on the market, and blah, 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 blah. And like,
so this one is a little bit of a trick, I'm not going to lie. But good things come to those who wait. And
This one's a little bit of a trick, I'm not going to lie. Good things come to those who wait. I'm like, what is he talking about?
If you wait for this one, you will not be let down. And if you've been watching my videos for a while.
Oh, this is what he does too. He always mentions something interesting about the house that they're not going to see until the end. And on this one, he's even just coming right out and saying it like, hey, you're going to have to wait, but it'll be worth the wait.
I don't lie. I'm as true as they come. This is 17 Lavorado Road in Berkeley, specifically in North Berkeley. I just about crapped my pants when I came up here because I got super startled right here because there was a deer and I interrupted his or her feeding. And then it proceeded to just stare me down with its little intimidating horns for about 5 minutes. But pretty beautiful animal. And
we got all the comments.
Probably a great sign that this is a little glimpse of what your life could be like here. Look at this. Like, it's not backing down. Like, I'm in it.
But can you imagine him shooting the video? He's like, crap, I have to keep this in. But how long is this deer going to sit here? And he just embraces it.
The like Manor Bear
weather.
argument?
It has been hot for October. I really wish I was able to take a trip right now, but life is just crazy hectic.
I really wish I was able to take a trip right now, but life is just hectic. Like, is that the type of stuff you would tell an internet lead? No, but that is the type of thing you would tell your friend if you were walking around with them in the house. And that's that little nuance, is the way he talks. He's talking to you like you guys are best friends. And then you feel like you're friends with him after you watch all this stuff.
So no AC here, which honestly with the Inner East Bay, it's rare that you're going to get AC. There's some homeowners that upgrade to AC that really want it, but I'd say like maybe 1 out of every 10 homes has AC. For heating, you have radiant heat. We also have a hot tub to check out because, I mean, how can you not have a hot tub in a house like
All right, what else do we see? Can't you start with a hook? Yeah, David, I think the thing that I was trying to hit on there is the idea of what a hook is. I think people miss, right? Like, we think a hook is some super cool feature about this is the best house you could possibly get in North Carolina. Like, what do people think when you hear that? You're like, oh man, this person's selling me something. But a good hook, and I'm talking especially on TikTok, because TikTok loves authenticity. A good hook on, oh, it's raining on you, Ray. Oh my goodness. A good hook on TikTok would be, I don't know, I'm gonna make something up here. This was the street I wanted to live on when I first moved here, but we couldn't afford it. Like, that's a better hook. It's more personal. You're getting people to identify with you because they're like, oh man, I remember when I couldn't. A lot of times as agents, we're thinking about salesy hooks instead of connection hooks. And I think connection hooks can work a lot better with people when the first words out of your mouth, the audience is connecting with you. And that's why I think you should really analyze so much of what the first couple things you say are in your video. But the goal is not to necessarily like hook them, because sometimes people get burnt out on that. Right now, it's like the first couple seconds to your video should connect with them.
I think it's also important to understand like who you're speaking to, right? So
Yes.
earlier we were talking about like new construction, right? And if Thomas is person in new construction, like is that a first time home buyer or a move up buyer? Is that a family or a young professional? Like who is that person? Because like um I think for all of these people, as they've done more and more videos, they found that they attract a certain type of client, or they attract, you know, they start to see some similarities between their clients, and then what you're saying becomes more friendly and personal because it's like, oh, like I know that these are, you know, a millennial couple with one kid that's about to have another, so they need to move into a bigger house, or they da da da, and like you have
Yep.
this vision of who you're speaking to in your mind, right? Like if you ask Roland or Matt or Raj like who their target audience is, like Raj did a talk in Houston, he's like my target audience is, and he starts going through it in such significant detail, it's wild, right? So I think that that's if you don't have that yet, or you're a newer agent and you haven't done transactions yet, like who is your ideal client? Like Rick, you just moved to a new city, right? Like you just moved across the
Yeah.
country. You don't have a target audience in Castle Rock, right? Like you're like, I just need to sell a house, right? But he has taken the time to be like, who do I want to sell a house to? Someone like me, someone who's going to make the move from another state to here. They have, I think, a dog and a kid, and I don't know what else, but he's
What
got
do
a
they
little
care
picture.
about? What do they care about? What's your
I thought he was
audience
gonna, I thought he was
worried
gonna hop in
about?
and talk a little bit, but instead he just,
Nothing. Nah,
he's like, yeah.
listen, Yankees are out. He's going through a tough time right now. It's all good. I still have the Yankee hat that he sent me. Actually, one of my friends was here in my house the other day. He's like, I thought you were a Red Sox fan. I was like, I am. I just have friends that mail me Yankee hats because they don't like me. Rick even had to turn his camera off. He couldn't hack it. Um, but, but I would say is when you think about your hook, like go deeper and think, okay, what are the people that are going to watch this video? Like, what are they worried about? You know, what do they care about? What are they passionate about? Like one of our agents had I need a Mariners hat. That's right. One of our agents just did a video, and in the kitchen they opened with, imagine having this beautiful kitchen where you can make SpaghettiOs. Meaning, how many moms have like these amazing kitchens or want a great kitchen, but know they're just going to be making mac and cheese for their kids 8 times a day, right? like speaking to a certain audience and knowing how to hook them in, I think is important. All right. Any
We want to
thoughts,
pivot.
questions? We could pivot. If everybody's done and blue
Does
check,
anyone
worth
have,
it.
I mean, this could just be talking about profile optimization and like target audience, but like, does anyone have any questions on their profiles or,
Well,
um,
I did want to hit a question, Katie, because I forget who asked it. I'm scrolling back in the feed. Oh, it was Thomas again. Thomas, I appreciate you coming out today, man. You're bringing us all the good questions in the chat. So keep it coming. Oh, but Thomas, I will say there's always the chance that if you hop on, we're gonna pull up your social stuff. But David, look at David's already offering it up. He's like, check out my profile. Um, what are we on? We're on YouTube. We're on Zoom. Um, Katie, where are we going? Okay, we're
were
off
you
screen
going
share.
Thomas's profile?
No, no. Well, he asked the question, which was, which was,
I think you
uh,
scrolled because I see a question in the chat right now, but I don't think that you.
no, no. His was up. He said, as a new Instagram user, is there a base strategy that you recommend? Reels versus post versus carousels. How often should I post? All that fun stuff. That's what I wanted to dive into, Katie. Overall content strategy.
Okay, we got 19 minutes. Is that
Woohoo! Um, Overall content strategy, one of the things we've been hitting on is that you use your feed to grow an audience. You use your feed to grow an audience. And then you use comments, DMs, stories to convert your audience. And I think one of the trouble things that we see is sometimes agents will try to convert their audience in the feed. You know what I mean? Like you'll be posting stuff that you're hoping will get somebody to raise their hand and say, hey, I want to buy a house. Or you're posting something like our 8-point listing strategy, right? As a post and hoping somebody's going to call you to list their house. Like that's selling in the feed. And we don't want to sell in the feed. We want to grow our audience in the feed. And so what content, like, is the content that you're posting in the feed serving your audience? Because we can convert our audience in stories, DMs, and comments. But are you serving your audience with the feed and then selling the stories? And just for clarification, when I say the feed, I mean the reels you're posting, the carousel posts, the images, that stuff is the post that's in your feed. And that's where I don't think we should be selling. We should be focusing on growing our audience, connecting with our audience, getting people to like our stuff, making sure they feel understood. In your 7-part listing plan to sell their house faster isn't doing any of those. There are 4 tips to keep your bathroom clean in the fall. Like doesn't do any of that either. Like you need to have your feed that has that. Now, here's the piece though. I like to make the jokes, but there's a great place for those things. Like people still want the 7 secrets to sell your house in Laguna Beach. People still need the 8 things to keep your house clean in the fall. Like, I'm not saying there's not a place for that, but I'm just saying it's not the feed. And you can kill your audience in the feed. Like you can kill your audience in the feed. You get some post that does great. You get another post that does great. And then you try to sell to your audience in the feed. Nobody likes it. And now you're killing your your algorithm juice. So, Katie, that's my long drawn out way of saying grow your audience in the feed, convert your audience in stories.
well? And so like I think when everyone's like, okay, well then what do I post, right? Like you're saying I need to post
Yeah.
on my in my feed to grow. Like I think at the end of the day, like quality needs to be high quality content. Content needs to be high quality content. So like
And
it
that
doesn't
doesn't necessarily mean quality edited. Go ahead. Sorry.
that doesn't necessarily mean edited content. No, basically like the message needs to be good. So like if you guys are using like uh templated posts of like just listed posts, like that's not high quality, right? Like if you are who someone the other day had a really good carousel of a just listed post, but it was like every page was a feature of the property and it had to be Chris Benjamin. Like let's be real, let me pull this Instagram. But high quality content to me is like a good message. If it's video, like it's good audio, right? Like it doesn't have to be you go out with a videographer and shoot this like massive, cinematic masterpiece, right? Like high quality content um
Yeah.
is good.
Real
Who
quick.
was it? Sorry, I'm
John,
trying to
do
find.
you have is Johnny offensive? Is that not a thing? Yeah. No. So look, if I'm Johnny
Not
B,
offensive.
okay, if I'm in Johnny B and I'm in Westchester, right? We had a 5-minute conversation when I was in New Jersey,
Yeah.
and you were like, I don't even like New York, right? And I was like,
I
hey,
hate
yeah,
the
we're
city.
going into the city. We're gonna do this stuff. Like, what do you think about this spot? He's like, I don't even know, dude. I don't even really like New York. And I'm like, you live in Westchester, but you don't like New York. And what I realize is there's probably a bunch of other people like you,
Yeah.
right? That are similar, that like live close to the city, but don't really like it that much, right? Like, I'm just saying, you as a person are somebody that I think a lot of people connect with and relate with. Your question was, is it too broad to attract local people who want to list or buy with you. I want to track both, but I wonder if it's too broad. Look, you're too far down the funnel for, I think, who you are. If I were you, I would just be creating content that connects with local people, right? Like how, like one, what is going on in your local area that you could be talking about? And two, how you talk about it.
Yeah.
Your perspective and your opinion on it. That is going to attract people. That's just going to attract a lot of people. And then those people will be buyers and sellers. But we have to lead with just the question that you typed in there is like, I want to attract buyers and sellers. That's a crappy attitude, man. You want to attract humans.
Yep.
You want to attract people. You want to connect with people first.
Yep.
Like that has to be your priority. And then, yeah, of course, some of those people will be buyers and sellers.
Yep.
Well, and so
Sorry.
No, all good. So that was like a perfect segue because basically it gave me time to pull this up. So high quality content, like in my opinion, like Alyssa Kermott does local content, right? That is content that attracts people in Spokane. If you talk to her, she wants to actually not just share cool things. She wants to sell real estate to moms in North Spokane with like 2 kids, right? Because like she's a mom with 2 kids, right? And so when you go through this, it's like great workout for moms in like wellness clinic, perfect for women, family friendly activity. Like all of her stuff is very specific to the people that she is looking, like solid workout, self-care obsession. Like these are all things like, if you're a parent, specifically a mom, you're probably like, yeah, I could use that, right? So this is like,
and here's the deal. If I'm her avatar and I go to her page, this is all stuff I want to follow. Like if I'm stumbling across her page and I'm her avatar, I'm following.
Yep. Look at him go. All right. So this is like, that's her style. And like, this does require a little bit of editing. It does require a little bit of creativity, right? Like, you got to plan some of this out in order to get this type of content. Like you're not just like taking random B-roll when you're in a restaurant. Like this obviously took some time and thought, right? Then you've got
carousel. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Bella.
Bella, who's like, this is like B-roll style, right? Dan McKinnon has an entire page that's just this type of stuff for Southwest Florida, right? Like, so this is another style of local content. Right. And she's starting to do some of this, but there's a lot of
new local news. Yep.
Okay. And then you've got where you're reporting local news kind of thing, right?
And here's the deal. There has to be somebody on the call, and we won't drop a 1 in the chat on this one. You can just internally nod your head. But there has to be some people on the call that are looking at that content saying, how is that going to help people? How is that going to get me clients? Like, how is the local news going to make people think of me when they want to buy a house? And you're not wrong. Like, there's a difference, but it is content that's going to grow an audience. It is a content to get more people to know who you are, right? So you can connect with them. And the piece is like the content we want people to care about. We can't make the content we want people to care about. We have to make the content they actually care about. And they don't care about your new listing. I'm sorry. I hate to break that to you. But the idea is, Mark was asking about, I don't get, the difference on stories and stuff. If I've built this amazing audience in my feed and I've got 40,000 local people following me, the people that click my story may be interested that I have a new listing. You know what I mean? Like the stories are just such a more forgiving place. Like if Gus has just given me all of the information about my local area and he's constantly keeping me updated with stuff. I love this guy. He makes content that serves me that I want, that doesn't serve him. And then in his stories, he's like, oh man, been working hard on this cool listing. It's really cool. I'm like, oh yeah, Gus sells houses. That's interesting. I'm interested in his listing. But we mess it up. We want people to be interested in this content when we haven't earned that yet. And that's why we convert in stories and not as much in the feed. All right. And then other stuff. So content people care about is what grows the feed. Katie, stories and stuff that converts though. Because I do think that's where the money is. I've got, like we were on the call with Brad, who's built this big audience and is just doing awful at actually converting them and has a bunch of comments they haven't responded to and all this other fun stuff. And so if you focus on audio, on content that grows the audience, that serves the audience in your feed, we can have a lot of fun converting the audience in stories. And so stories are algorithmic, which may or may not be a word. But essentially, what that means is if Austin does his just listed post as the first story of the day, nobody engages with it, right? It's like it's boring. And so then the next story that he posts isn't going to get as many views. Has anybody noticed that? Like one day you post a story, you're like, oh, my story gets 500 views. That's amazing. And then the next day your story only gets 100 views. Like it's because whatever you posted yesterday that got 500 views was more interesting than the stuff that's getting 100 views.
I always think you're interesting, Tim.
Oh, thanks, Katie. She's just got to get her one compliment in at the end of the call to like try to balance things out. So you always want to try to lead with something that's engaging, right? That will juice your story algorithm for the day. Because if 1,000 people watch my first story, what's that mean for my next one? It means far more people are going to watch the next one. And so if you do have, like if David has a listing he really wants to tell people about, or an open house he really wants to tell people about, he's got to make sure he puts a super engaging story as his first story, and then he could tell people about the listing on the next one. That's like the basic algorithmic story stuff. The other piece, though, that we've talked about is polls, right? How do you put out polls that get a lot of engagement? Because the thing that I like about polls is if David puts a poll up, and one of our favorite ones is, how often do you check Zillow? Once a day, once a week, once a month, once a year, right? It's such a good story poll because it's actually not that salesy. Like you're not asking somebody if they're interested in buying a house because that's salesy. That makes me feel weird. You're asking somebody how often they check Zillow. Everybody's checking Zillow all the time, you know? And so this is such a great post. But the best part about this is you get to see who voted and how they voted. And so this gives us an opportunity to have conversations with people. So I do this post and I see that Austin hit daily. And I'm like, oh, interesting. So like, Austin, if you hit daily, what do you say to that person?
Tell me what you're looking at. I'm kind of interested to see why you're on Zillow daily.
Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'll take it. Not bad.
What would you say?
I would say whatever the most likely thing to get a response is. And so
Dang,
again,
daily! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark!
yeah, like
Then I would say, tell me, what are you looking at?
Or I would just say, wow. And nothing else. You know how when we have conversations, like if you learn the power of silence in negotiations and conversations that you're having with people, like being silent and then letting somebody else fill the void with all the stuff they weren't going to tell you, right? And it's kind of the same thing here. Like I just want to send them something that gets a response. And so sometimes just wow with an exclamation point makes them a little more likely to answer. Or it's like, do you look at stuff way out of your price range like I do? Or something. You know what I mean? Just like whatever the easiest thing to get a response is, that's what you want to go with. But it's hard for us to take off our real estate agent hat. And when somebody hits, they check Zillow daily, not to say, oh, are you speaking with a lender? Right? Like that's just our natural thing. That's what we want to do. And so, yeah, these polls are great, but all it does is it gives us an opportunity to talk to people. And so what you want to do with polls is you want to put out polls that are the easiest to engage with. So Katie, I think you've got more on here, right? This is your presentation.
Yeah, no, great. Thanks for asking, Tim. I would love to show more ones. All right, so this one's like a little funnier one.
Yeah. If you want to move to Houston, what do you want to be closest to? Or just like, what do you want to live closer to? What's most important? Walmart, Target, HEB, Costco. And if you're in Texas,
and if you're from Texas, you know that's like, yeah.
HEB is gonna crush everybody. Which and Bill Olson does these. I think these are great. Listing agreement, buyer agreement going out tonight. What are you planning to do this year? I'm ready to buy. I'm thinking about selling. Nothing until 3% rates again.
And
Here's the
so
deal.
here's the thing. Oh God, I cannot stand this. That was terrible. I hate you and me
Here's the
together.
deal.
I don't like us. Um, here's the thing though, like that bottom one's a throwaway, right? Like the entire point of that is so that they would potentially vote on the other like. But like, what would you DM the nothing until I see 3% rates again? So I think there's money in that too.
Yeah. And I think going back to it, you have to make these polls easy to engage with. And so nothing until I see 3% rates again, that's just an easy answer for people, right? You want to get people in the habit of engaging with your stuff. And then like Katie said, again, it's another easy way to have a conversation. Like, oh my God, did you get one? Like, did you get a 3% rate? Or I'm in the
Rate,
same
right?
boat. Or I'm in the same boat. You know, like you can just find these easy ways to start conversations with people.
I
And
set a
Melon,
trap. I set a trap like 2 weeks ago, and was with the 5%.
Yeah.
And the trap was I just had two people close in the fives. And so it was a very similar question to what this is. And then I was able to message, like two of them were positive about fives, and one of them was
Yeah.
like, no, it's got to be in the fours. But I was able to
good luck
message
to you.
everyone that had done the fives and was like, hey, by the way, last week I just had two clients close in the fives. They're like, what? Really? How? So I sent them to my sources. We'll see if it pans out.
Yeah, no, I think I think I just love stories because when you get the votes, you click on the story and it just tells you everybody that voted what they voted for, and then it has the message icon right next to it.
Yeah.
Like Instagram wants you to message people that interact with your stories, and so this is again the time to sell. Like the time to sell is not in the feed. The time to sell is not with your just listed posts or just closed post or like that. You don't sell in the feed. You sell in stories because people engage with stories on a more personal level. And it's just easier to message people, easier to have conversations with people. So grow the feed, grow the audience in your feed, talk to the audience in your stories. Marina asked, can you do a poll on TikTok? This is my one beef with TikTok. It's not as social as Instagram. So TikTok is one of the best places to grow a large audience, but it's harder to talk to them. Like people still crushing on TikTok. So it's not saying it can't be done. I love Instagram because it has a TikTok like algorithm where you can grow an audience harder than TikTok, but you could still grow an audience. But it's easier to talk to people though. They're more social on Instagram. A lot more messages on the DMs.
I like this
All
one
right.
similar to like what Ray just said. Closing day for my clients, just negotiated under ask and all closing costs paid. But you could do something of like closing day for my clients. They just got a 5% interest rate. Want to know how? Like
Yeah.
they don't always have to be market analysis, right? This was one I did. What I like about this is like, yes, please and send me the data. Both are positive, right?
Well, and the other thing is you, Bill, and our people that are crushing this, they're just taking the time to market stuff they're already doing. Like Bill's writing an offer. He takes a minute to take that moment of writing an offer to make it into a poll. Katie was at a closing. She takes the time when she's at a closing to make some engagement out of it and make it a poll. So it's not that they're working more than you. They're just taking those marketable moments and making them moments for engagement. Jay, yes. That is if you want to get more business, then yeah, that's a tough one. Like a lot of people deal with that in the reason and if you're not reading the chat, Jay said he's got a audience that's higher percentage of realtors and lenders. Here's the deal. Like it's easier to make content for realtors because we are one. I don't have any trouble making content that other agents think is funny because I'm an agent. Like we just know. And so that's easy. So it's easy to get likes from realtors and lenders, but that's not what we want. We have to like go deep and figure out how do I connect with the consumer that I want to connect with. And that's why it's so easy to fall down the rabbit hole of building this audience of agents and lenders because you put out a post that caters that agents love and you get a bunch of likes and you say, oh, I should do that again. Right. But we have to really dive into our engagement and look at who's engaging with our stuff and figure out how to get more of the right engagement. Cool. All right. Anything else before we wrap? Final thoughts?
Stacy wants a link to the real estate video blueprint.
Stacy, we'd love to see you at REVB this year. And yeah, good crew today. It's good to see everybody. Yeah, jump in the Facebook group. Also hit me up if you've got questions and you want to just like hop on a call and run through stuff. Unless you're Mark Stillings, we've done enough, Mark. No, I'm kidding, Mark. I'd love to hop on a call with you anytime. But yeah, just hit me up. I'd love to look at what you're doing and see if we can make some tweaks and make some improvements.
All right.
All right, y'all. Have an awesome week. See you guys next week.